There's a bit of pressure on this. It's dribbly, it's horrible, it's absolute shocker. You've got to give yourself a chance at these hoops. They're so easy. You can't not give yourself a chance. There isn't a lot of point in scattering red here because Fletcher's got an equally short shot at black virtually from B-Bulk. So he's just going to corner 4 and he's going to cross his fingers that Fletcher misses. Well, if this was me, I'd be shooting at red from A-Bulk. 2 reasons. First of all, it's about 1 yard shorter. And secondly, I can put black in the background as a double target. And I'm quite fortunate. When I miss about 85% on the right hand side. So I could probably line it up with black just on the right hand side of red and have a nice target. The good side of taking it from where Robert's taking it is when he hits black, he'll have a ball at his hoop. Should be confident at this range after having half an hour on the lawn, and that's a much better shot. Really starting to get into this match, and to be honest, he's been let into the match. We'll just watch Robert make hoop 1, and then we'll swap over and see how Reg's sextuple's going. Good shot there, sending out a good hoop 2 pioneer, getting a pretty straightforward rush to hoop 1. But now, Reg has made 1, he's come up to hoop 2, and he's doing something a little bit different to the first sextuple. One of the things that the players try and do now is peel 1 back before making hoop 2. If you can get this peel, it makes it far easier to get a good position to peel 2 back before 4, which is the key part of making your sextuple easy. Now the downside is that if this peel that he's lining up here sticks in the jaws, well, he ends up having to jump through hoop 2. He's obviously got to play with pull, because he needs to get a rush on black back to hoop 2. So, can go wrong, but it's got lots of upsides to it. Ideally, Reg would like black to be further west, so he has to play with less of an angle, so he's got more of a guaranteed. But that's a perfect peel and a good rush to hoop 2. That's the sort of start these modern players look at for getting to their sextuple. You don't want to have to peel it after hoop 2. Peel it before 2, Now once he's rushed the black ball to hoop 2 and made the hoop, he can go down to 2 back and get a nice tidy position with both black and yellow at 2 back to give himself a straightforward 2 back peel, getting a rush to hoop 4. Yeah, Robert's a little bit out of control after that shot, but it's... So red rushes down after hoop 2. And instead of having to position black as his escape ball from virtually the north boundary, like he did in the last game, he's got it much closer now, can get much more accuracy on these 2 balls. That's interesting. I thought red here would choose to rush yellow in front of 2 back and take off back, which is a little bit less accurate from the striker's ball point of view, but it's very good for the peelee. What he's actually chosen to do is prioritise the striker's ball and rush yellow all the way to the north boundary, so he can send it all the way back to 2 back, a long way away, but the striker's ball will only be moving 6 yards to get a rush on blue to hoop 3, which should mean he gets a rush out of hoop 3 down to 2 back. 2 methods. This is sort of the method I play as a croquet stroke player who's not very good at 3 and 4 yarders. I thought red would have played more of the take-off line. And black at 2 backs, probably again 2 or 3 feet short of where he'd like it. So he'll be peeling from a little bit further back than he would ideally like. So croquet's yellow down to 2 back. Perfectly adequate where it's finished. And he's got a rush on blue to hoop 3. The focus here is to make hoop 3 with a rush down back to yellow at 2 back. Good control there through hoop 3. Now rushing blue down to 2 back. Blue will be the ball he makes. Hoop 5 off. Yellow and black look a little bit close to each other. So just looking at exactly what angle he wants to get to, because he needs to hold on black for his rush to hoop 4. So blue's the hoop 5 par there, and it's put so far south as a sort of insurance policy. So if he doesn't get this 2-back peel now, he can get it before he makes hoop 5. If you start putting your hoop 5 pioneer at hoop 5 and you don't get the 2-back peel, you get in all sorts of trouble. So it's very much an insurance ball, doing two things: allowing him to peel 2-back after hoop 4 if he fails it now, and also working as a hoop 5 pioneer. So he can play a straight stop shot or a drive peel here. Red only has to move about 2 or 3 feet to get a dolly rush on black to hoop 4, and there's no pull involved in the shot, so he can line it up dead straight. Additionally, because you can play a stop shot or a drive instead of a roll, you're not striking down on the red, and as soon as you strike down on a ball, you become less accurate. So just his normal body position, his normal single ball stroke. Looks like that went through by about 3 or 4 inches. And he's got a pretty reasonable rush to hoop 4 here. He's probably got to cut it half ball over to hoop 4. So good shot. Perfectly under control again. And that's the stage. We've only made 3 hoops so far, but we've got 2 peels, and this effectively quadruple peel starting at hoop 4 is just meat and drink to them. He'll feel he's 90, 95, maybe even more % to finish from here. We can see here Robert on lawn 2 coming up to 1-back. Looks like he's going to make another what we call Morm standard leave or MSL yellow on a wire of hoop 2. So ideally you can't hit it from B-bulk and it doesn't rush to hoop 1. In a perfect world it will also be able to hit a ball in corner 4. And then after he's put that there, he'll rush red down the lawn, send it to 3-back, going to black at 2-back, and as he's making 3-back later on, red will be almost in the mirror image of yellow on hoop 4. A couple of inches away, So he can't hit it from A-bulk, and it's got a hampered backswing from hitting black and blue on the east boundary. Back to Reg, and Reg has smashed through hoop 4. And now he's putting out this hoop 6 Pioneer again. I mentioned in the last break, we don't want it north of hoop 6. Reg is perfectly happy with it 4 yards south of hoop 6. He won't be wanting it, you know, on top of the hoop. Again, you can see he's sent it up, wee bit short, a little bit further than last time. But again, a perfectly good ball to peel 3 back going to. Needs to hit the yellow, so he's got nothing in the way of either sending yellow to 3 back or getting a rush on blue to hoop 5. So again, another important shot we mentioned in the previous sextuple, getting this peely over to 3 back precisely, very important. And this time, probably gone about 1 or 2 feet too far, but again, pretty good. Lovely rush to hoop 5, it's all under control. Just joining Robert again as he's making his last couple of shots of his turn. As you can see, Red's in that mirror image position. Easily rushable to hoop 1. And with the last shot of his turn, he'll play blue, so black can rush it to hoop 1. It's going to be pointing about 3 yards north of hoop 1, almost at hoop 5. So there's no double from A-bulk. A round of applause from the crowd as the Australian takes the first lead he's had of this match. Break up in the third. Now the normal choice of shot here is to lift the red ball at hoop 4 and take the long shot from corner 3. However, the lawns are so easy that the difference between the difficulty of a standard triple and a delayed triple isn't massive. So the shot from corner 3 is probably about 23 yards. The shot from A-bulk's probably about 18 yards. Because of the ease of the lawns, Marcus might just decide, I'm going to take the shortest possible shot I've got, lift yellow, come to A-bulk and shoot at blue or black. That's what he's doing. We'll just watch Reg's 3-back peel going to hoop 6 and then cut back and have a look at Marcus's lift shot, depending on which one gets taken first. Reg is still lining up his peel, so Marcus is probably going to hit it first. Let's have a look at Marcus's lift. Hates the shot. Missed blue by, that's over a foot on the left there. So Reg has just played his 3-back peel and it's finished in an absolutely amazing position. It seems to have bounced back about 3 yards from the hoop. And I suppose the good thing is he's got a good rush on black to hoop 6, but he's standing there with his hands on his hips. He doesn't know what's happened. He must have missed the peel by a long way to get that sort of half wire contact to go from one wire to the other wire and then back again. I mean, it's not a problem. He can make hoop 6, come back to yellow, rush yellow in front of 3-back, and peel 3-back going to blue at 1-back. I think he's probably just having a little sort of mental break as much as anything. To say, look, that was so far out. What on earth happened? So, various ways to pick up the break from that mislift. Robert's doing the option that I use, so rushing yellow just north of level with hoop 3. A sort of big split shot sending it back over towards hoop 2. But the key thing here is getting a rush on blue south towards red, so you can rush it onto that nice rush line. So you're approaching red directly along the line of hoop 1 that you're wanting to rush it to. Yellow anywhere within 4 or 5 yards of hoop 2 is perfectly adequate. So probably just rush this half ball 3 or 4 yards. That's lovely. And now he can play this stroke where he moves blue in towards the lawn, but puts all his focus on getting a lovely straight rush to hoop 1. And from that stage he'll have another standard triple, and it should be 2-1 to the number 3 seed. That's a good rush. Just got to get the pace of this right now. Shouldn't be more than 4 or 5 feet away from here. Slight bobble on the rush. Finishes about 4 feet east of the hoop. Little croquet stroke and he's away. So just for all you improvers out there, these hoop approaches are one of your big things to practice. Anywhere within a 4 or 5 foot radius of the hoop, you need to be able to approach the hoop, not with a roll, but with one of those shots like Robert's just played, standing up, so you're not striking down on the ball, you're just using the natural angle of the balls to allow them to freely flow into lovely hoop running position. And he's through the hoop, should be away, back to Reg's sextuple. So Reg has made hoop 6. He's rushed black all the way down to the south boundary. And now he's going to be rushing yellow in front of 3-back. He's croqueted the black ball just far enough north so it won't be in the way of his roll going to the blue ball at 1-back. So he just wants good rush here. That's short, and if anything you want to be peeling from a wee bit east of the line here to narrow the angle going to ball at 1-back. So slightly wider shot than he wants to play here. The wider it is, the more random the pool becomes. He's got to hit down on the red here because he's got to move it all the way up to 1-back. So not easy, needs to pull out a good shot. Here we go. Well, good with the yellow, and he'll be happy with that. He is sort of 3 or 4 yards short of blue, but yellow looks like it's in the jaws. Yeah, yellow's just in the front of the jaws, with a rush north on the blue. All looks pretty much under control again. That's a bad rush to 1-back. Hit it half ball on the right. Now he really wants a rush, either to the south boundary or at worst over to 4-back. So he can't really just afford to take off and make his hoop here. He's going to have to play a croquet stroke. Maybe a thick takeoff or a half roll approach. I think we'll probably see Robert would play a thick takeoff here, but it's a good shot. He's given himself a little bit more margin of error. He's gone 3 to 4 feet back from 1-back, just in case he didn't get the length right. And these 3-foot hoops are just meat and drink to them at the moment, hardly ever failing any of them. And that's good. He hasn't rushed blue really into quite ideal position there. Blue's is a 3-back pioneer. I know it's up at 4-back, but that's the ball he's intending to make 3-back off. He wants it ideally probably a couple of yards further north so he can peel 4-back, getting a rush on blue back to 3-back. So with this shot he wants yellow through the hoop and by far enough that he doesn't have a hampered backswing, so he can croquet yellow all the way back up to 4-back, getting a rush on black to 2-back. That looks ideal. he'll be able to get yellow maybe 8 or 9 yards further north. So again, focusing on getting the rush on the black to 2-back, whilst getting yellow as far up towards 4-back as he dare do. You can see the positions that Reg is looking at for the peel. He's looking at maybe 2 options, either peeling from 4 yards fairly straight, or from maybe peeling from 3 or 4 feet from slightly west of the hoop at an angle, so he can move the striker's ball over to the blue to get a rush to 3-back. It does quite well. It gets yellow quite a long way up there, really. And now he's got his rush to 2-back. Overcuts that a wee bit, so he's approaching from a little bit further away than he wants, but it won't be a problem. We'll see one of the approaches where he sends the croquet ball deep again, gets in front of the hoop and then smashes it through to the boundary to leave himself that rush back up to yellow near 4-back. And again, so that croquet ball going just off the boundary, so now he can smash through the hoop and he'll end up with a rush pointing somewhere north. Another good opportunity to get any tension that's in your shoulders out. Nice fluent follow through. Give it some welly. There we go. And you can see he comes out of 2-back with a rush pointing nicely up at yellow. So black's placed in a position where he'll be able to peel penultimate, going to it as his 4-back pioneer, if all this works. Now that's a pretty, I'm not sure that's where he wanted it. It might be. I mean, this is a long way away. It's almost 3 yards away, and he's going to have to play it with a lot of pull to get a rush on blue all the way to 3-back. I think this is odds against to go through the hoop. What Reg will be hoping for is he can get yellow in the jaws, or the front of the jaws, so he can rush peel it before he makes 4 back. And lots of players here will be so focused on this yellow ball, they'll forget the most important part, which is the red's got to have a rush to 3 back on the blue. So there's no guarantee from this distance that yellow will even hit the hoop. Let's see how he gets on. Oh, I'd be thrilled with that. That's great. Very, very good. The rush is pointing at about corner 4, but it's so short, he shouldn't have a problem with rushing it here. Lovely shot. So needs to make 3 back, and then he'll go up to yellow, rush peel it through 4 back, Croquet as close in front of penultimate as he can do, whilst getting the far side of black to be able to rush it back in front of 4 back, and he'll have another straight double peel to finish. Nice croquet stroke from Reg there. He sent that yellow ball just a few feet in front of penultimate, and he'll be pretty confident finishing from here. Another opportunity for Reg just to take extra bit of control. Runs it smoothly. And now the straight double this time will have an Irish peel at penultimate. I have to say I don't like where he's put the black ball. I prefer it much closer to the peg. Blue should be an escape ball to the side of penultimate. Yeah, you know, with it being just that 2 feet further south there, if you play the penult peel as an Irish and red goes through by half an inch, you end up not being able to hit blue because you've got a hampered backswing, and yellow's all the way down at rover, so you've got nothing. So, you know, with blue just fractionally out, he's got maybe a 1 or 2% chance of something going wrong. Low percentages, I know, but you know, if you play a couple of hundred games every year, once or twice, it's going to finish in exactly the spot you don't want it to finish in. So, Irish peel. Yellow's going to go through penult, all the way down to rover hopefully, and red's going to go through penult either far enough to hit blue, or finish in the draws like that. So be thrilled with red. Can just tap it through and hit blue. And yellow's not bad. But if red had just run the hoop there by a couple of millimetres, he wouldn't have been able to hit the blue, and he'd have had to shoot at black and yellow down at rover. And remember, Reggie's giving away a contact now if he fails to finish this turn. So we'll see blue sent deep, so he can jump through rover to his deep ball again. And he'll go send red south of black, so he can hit black past yellow, and then send black out as his side escape ball before rushing yellow into peeling position. Nice one, stop for this. Over on lawn 2, Robert failed his penultimate peel after hoop 6, and he's now going to have a go at a death roll, going to 2 back. So death roll, he's trying to send blue through penultimate, and he's sending black all the way down to yellow at 2 back. The good thing here is yellow's a really good 2 back pioneer, so the risk, which often is associated with this shot, is less. Here goes, let's watch this, and then we'll pop back and see the end of Reggie's sextuple. It's interesting there to see Robert wipe the sweat from his forehead. It's not hot. It's 18 degrees. This is all caused by, you know, the focus and the pressure of the occasion. Trying to visualise the shot again, trying to work the angles out. Fails the peel. Black's okay. Let's pop back to Reg, who's just played his rover peel. So Reg got that rover peel through without any problem, and now same as last game, he's looking, making sure both sides of the ball miss the hoop, picking a point in the distance, point on a wall, someone's leg. That's the point he's going to be looking at when he's lining up the shot now. Some point in the distance and a power jump. There we go. Someone said in jest when he played one of those yesterday, fault. But fortunately we don't have any of that this tournament. So another lovely sextuple, really in good control, making the lawns look as easy as they are, and this is going to be 2-0 to the defending champion. As Reg gets down to line up this peel, this peg out, reminds me that if he wins this event, he becomes the oldest ever winner. There we go, 2-0 to the Springbok. Let's rejoin Robert on his TP to try and take a 2-1 lead. So he's left blue and yellow up at penultimate, and he's now rushed red in front of 3-back. He'll want to rush out of 3-back, back up to blue, to be able to peel the blue through penultimate, getting a rush on yellow to 4-back. I do like the distance Robert's getting away from his hoops, just that little bit closer than a lot of the other players, and that's enabling him to get good control. I haven't felt he's been on top form this event, and it's a big credit to him that he's still in it, and really, to be honest, hasn't looked particularly likely to go out, although Harley Watts had a good chance to make it 2 games all against him in, I think it was the last 16. It's a good position for the red ball. You want it south of penultimate and off the line of Penulton Rover. Yep, nicely in front. Should peel this, getting a rush on yellow to 4-back. Blue's through nicely, and now the benefit of red starts to become more evident. So after he's made 4-back off yellow, he can just rush blue to the side, a little bit west, and it's an easy shot for him to send blue down to Rover, getting a rush on red back to penultimate. Yeah, it depends. If it goes to the 5th, that one. After. Well, you'd have to win the next 2 games. Yeah. What's happened here? He's grovelled through four-back. I think he might be in all sorts of trouble here. This looks like a shocker. The referee's been called on. He's shaking his head. He's got no shot at all at the balls at Penult. And I'm not even sure he's got anything at this yellow. Yeah, the camera's zooming in for you, but you can't quite get the full view of it from behind black at yellow. You can see that right leg's going to really hamper his backswing. It looks like he's got a little bit of the left-hand side of black to hit. And the good thing is he's only got to move it about 4 feet to yellow. So it doesn't have to create much power on it. But he made the last one of these look very easy, but he's been shaking his head. So, going to hit that black on the left-hand side. No, looking at a sweep now. Now the sweep's difficult here because the black's so close to the wire. So running the mallet along the hoop isn't quite as easy. It's one where, yeah, he's just walked all over it standing up. Dearie me, he's such a casual, talented player at times, but that wasn't anywhere near as easy as he made it look, I don't think. So it needs to keep yellow east of the line of Penult and Rover, so he doesn't put it in the way of sending blue down to Rover. Because he's going to brush blue to the western side of the lawn, just maybe 2 or 3 yards away from where it is now. Looks okay there. I like yellow there. And yeah, that's pretty much where he wants to rush the blue, where he was just standing. Okay, back over on lawn 1 we've got the start of the third game. This will be, again, Hockey will have won the toss and he'll have chosen to go first. And he's played a little bit further south